Okay, all candidates, we're doing left to right again. There hasn't been a deputy position added to the sheriff's office in 20 years. But the county population has grown. What are your plans to fix this public safety problem? Starting with Ron.
That's a good question.
It's a great question.
Yeah, it is. Because overall, with the budget, sitting at the budget meeting today, talking about revenues, and revenues are down, how are we going to fix it? The only thing I know in the discussion would be in the future, but there was discussion about taxes. Do you want a safety levy to help improve the department? I don't know where else you're going to get the funding. We bring in $5.4 million off the levy, and the sheriff's budget's 5.2. I gotta figure out how to do it. I'd have to look at the situation and make an commitment.
Thank you. Dan?
I know I volunteered 2 minutes, there's no way to explain it in 2 minutes.
You
did it, exactly.
Right? Ron will yield this time.
Yeah.
Ron is correct, there is no money. I feel for the sheriff needing more people, but there is no money. The only alternative, if we want to have more officers on the street, I'm hearing a hand back there, or seeing a hand, is to run a public safety levy. In other words, put it on the ballot for you to raise your taxes to go towards public safety. The question lies, you have to read the fine print. Because if I put it on the ballot and I raise an extra $1.5 million for public safety, I do have to give it to Bob, but I don't have to really give it to Bob. So Bob's budget's $5 million. I can hand him this 1.5. That doesn't make him 6.5 because I just took $1.5 million of general fund money away. He's still at 5. Now I got $1.5 million to play with. That is the plan in this county, folks. Well, at least it was the plan last year when it was talked about. The plan could be changing. So I have informed Bob that if that is the direction of the new board, get it in writing. That money is actually going to increase your budget with a tax levy. Get it in writing, not verbal from a politician. That whatever money is raised, how much of it is going to come to you. They should know that it will raise, say, $1 million. Maybe you don't get it all. Maybe we're only going to give you $500,000 and the other $500,000 is spent on the attorney and another this on this. They can pencil it out, and that's how they should sell it to the voters. So you know what you're getting. Not a shell game of we're going to give money to Bob and then not give money to Bob. So I'm only warning you in case I'm not here in a year, but that's the plan.
Dan, your 2 minutes is up.
You just missed the stop sign. Okay. Go ahead, Todd.
That's gonna be fun. I think the sheriff can always have the right, or whoever the sheriff is can come in and ask for us to put a levy on, and I would always honor that because that's bringing it to the citizens. And I just found out about that you could, on a levy, you can specify it for, so it has to go to the sheriff's department, but that doesn't mean the $5 million that he's getting currently, some of that can be taken away. So I don't know how to deal with that, and I guess a lot of counties play that game. They will do a specific levy, and then that money all gets blended in together. So you as citizens kind of got to be a watch group and be aware of that. So you protect your county and what you're voting for. But I'd always put that levy, I'd always put something up to the vote for the people. Even though for the most part I'm against taxes, I believe there's other ways to find that money. I know that our county does spend about 25% less in the sheriff's department when you compare it to, I've seen 25 to 30% less when you compare it to other counties, similar population, similar size of other counties in Washington. So they do a great job by getting a lot of things donated to them through the posse, through flying planes and people driving boats. All that is volunteer. So you get millions of dollars of free services. Our county's been very creative that way. Thank you.
Amanda.
I think a safety levy makes the most sense in this situation and let the people vote on it. I know that in the west end of the county and talking to the Bingen White Salmon Police Department, we don't get deputies out there, and sometimes they have to, because it, you know, an emergency happens and they'll be here and it's an hour drive, and so our officers will have to sit with them and wait until the deputy comes. And I would be all for voting yes for a safety levy to get another deputy on the sheriff's department.